Hello everyone. Hi everyone. This is my usual call out video. The one I did on Monday was actually a bonus video. So today is going to be the actual call out video for this week. Now I'm going to try and be as fair on this one as I can, but I'm also going to be pretty brutal. And the brutalness will come towards the end. I've done a lot of research, and I'm going to link a playlist up in the iCard that I put together yesterday of videos on this particular topic, about this particular event, etc. Now, there are a lot of dissenting opinions. Those that did attend, I'd pretty much said the split is 50-50 between those that actually enjoyed it and those that thought it was an absolute waste of time. Now, I'm going to give my opinion on some of this, obviously, because that's what I do. But I'm also going to give my opinion of the people behind this. I'm talking about Hello World Live. It was an event that happened in Birmingham earlier this year. Actually, I think it was last weekend or the weekend before. It was not this last weekend, just gone, it was the weekend before, I think. And it involved an array of British YouTubers. The selection of the British YouTubers I'll get to in a minute, but there have been a few issues with it. Now, it was organised by a gentleman by the name of Jason Perry. Now, he, from my research, isn't very well versed on how to produce events like this. It claims to be an immersive and interactive experience. There was tents where you could technically go and do things, but the other problem is half the time those tents were so full you couldn't get to them, and the people that were supposed to be at those tents weren't there because they were off doing something else. There was also no clarity of what it was meant to be. The only real tagline was that it was interactive, immersive, and like nothing ever seen. The timetable that they had on the Saturday was running behind, everybody was late, and the event finished early. Sunday was better, but I do think a lot of things were still running late. There was very little interaction between the people that had paid to go and the YouTubers. I'll get more onto that in a bit because I have a specific opinion on that. But when Zoella and Alfie and others explained it, they made it sound like they would be walking down the main street and that they would be in some of the tents for you to go and speak to them, and that you bump into them and that you could actually interact with them. But that didn't happen. The VIP bike wasn't worth it. The VIPs paid £100 to be a VIP. You got a pass, so there were certain events you could get into earlier. You could get into the actual events earlier. You got a t-shirt, you got a few bits and bats, the bubble bath, a couple of masks and a few other bits, and that was it. To me, that's not worth it. And the t-shirts, everybody says they're high quality, but to me they look like t-shirts that you can make yourself. The transfer on them wasn't professional. I'll actually explain what I mean. The transfers on the t-shirts basically look like I'd taken material like this and iron stuck it onto a t-shirt. It didn't look high quality to me. It looked very rushed and very cheap. I'm going to compare this to a t-shirt my friend got me a couple of years ago for my birthday. And yeah, it's a bit small. I'm trying to fit into it. Which is this one. Which is the Jared Padalecki Always Keep Fighting t-shirt that he has for depression and suicide, to raise money for those particular charities in the US. She got me this a couple of years ago. Now, the difference between the t-shirts that I saw in the videos of people unpacking their VIP bags and this is the actual transfer on this doesn't feel plasticky. And it's very high quality. It's like I can do that and it doesn't, you know, it doesn't rip, or the transfer is still there. Whereas the other ones, it literally looked like the transfer that went on a couple of the Tess Holiday t-shirts. The funny fact, the t-shirt she did for Fight Awareness, Fight Acceptance and things like that. It looked very much like that. It looked like it was cheap transfers printed on a cheap printer, ironed onto a cheap t-shirts. Not to the level of things like this. Or even my fantasy hoodie, which is a Teespring. And to me, that makes no sense. If you're going to do an event and you're going to give VIP bikes, give them something of this quality. Not of something of the same quality as cheap shit. VIPs were allowed, like I said, they were allowed to have access to lots of things that the non-VIPs were to have, which is fine. But when that also translates into those people that are still paying, granted half the cost of the VIPs, those people that are still paying don't hardly get anything. To me, it's ridiculous. Kate, and I think her video's in the playlist. I'll double check before I make this live. She won tickets, or should I say passes, to 2 separate events, and both were happening at the same time. But luckily, because one was running behind, she got to see both. So in that instance, yeah, somebody running behind was a benefit, but still. Zoella was hardly ever there. There's a video where you can barely see her. There's a video where there's other YouTubers literally just stood around and they're not interacting with anybody other than the friends. The press events, and this is one thing that really irks me, the press events were happening during the event. Now, the thing with the British press is you can organise at times. If you say I was doing an event in a library in town, I could say to the press, the event starts at 3, so could you come at half 2, so that we could have our conversation and everything, and then you could take pictures as the signing's going on. That's how you do it. But no, they had all the press events during the actual event. I found this out through, found the lad's name. Where's his name? I think it's Looking for Louis. He said that there was lots of stuff going on with press and things like that, which is fine. But like I say, you should organise that for before the event, if the event is supposed to be immersive. There was no meet and greets. Granted, they say it's not a meet and greet, which is fine. But if it's immersive and interactive and you'll be able to see us on the floor, then why did anybody out there ever see you on the floor? And if they wouldn't be on the floor, why did they say that they would? Whether it was because when they were pitched the idea of the event that they said they'd be on the floor, but then because of either security concerns or timings, that's not possible. Why didn't they just put on Twitter, I won't be able to go onto the floor, I've got these events going on at these times, if you can make these then fine, but they didn't. all the stages slash talks seem to be for the creators, and this is one of the bits that hurt me, for the creators to interact with other creators. All the talks were one creator talking to another creator. There was one which was, I've forgotten the guy, but it also involved Tyler. It might have just been Tyler Rotley and Tom Daly, and it was just them two sat there. There was one panel where a few other people showed up on the stage during the panel, which was Zoella and a few others. And a lot of the issues that people had was the fact that people were told that it wouldn't be boring and there would be things to do. But all the things that there were to do, A, there was queues for, B, were not well planned at all, and a lot of the things that were said were there didn't exist. A lot of it, there was a lot of pushing merch. There was a lot of stalls for people to buy t-shirts, etc. There was more stalls for the merch than anything else, and they actually said that it wouldn't just be for people to go and buy merch. It would be to interact with the YouTubers on a more informal basis, but that didn't happen. The security was shite. They were charging money for a badly planned event. Now, I'm not saying that people plan things impeccably for every event. We all know that's not true. But there's a reason why Playlist and VidCon and Summer in the City have it down pat, is because A, they've been doing it for years, and B, because the people who are planning it and the people who are doing it are doing it with the experience of others that do that sort of type of thing. And to say that an event is one thing and it be completely different, most of those involved were in the same social group / network as Alfie Days. A lot of it was Alfie and his friends and his crew, and the people like Marcus Butler, Zoella, Joe, etc. And that irked me. Because there was a guy who actually attended. I think he bought tickets to attend because he wasn't invited as a creator, but he went anyway, who has beef with Alfie. I think his video's in the iCard, I'm not sure. And he even agreed that the event wasn't that great. It was an example of people going to see YouTubers interact and play games with other YouTubers and not interact or play games or have any fun or anything with the people that are paying to watch them and see them. Some creators were paid. Now, Looking for Louie, who I've mentioned before, didn't. He did a vlog of the weekend and he said that he didn't get paid. But he's not sure whether that's true for everybody. But he also agreed that it wasn't planned very well and that next year everything would be better. Some of the creators also have shares in the company Hello World Live. There is a video about this. I think that's definitely in the iCard. He actually found the company listings. I looked, but I couldn't find them. That some of the creators actually had shares in the event, so not only did they get paid, but they would have got a share of profits. It finished early. There were some very long queues, although people say, yeah, but some of the queues weren't that long. No, but some of them were. There was no structure at all on the Saturday. An event would start on one stage, and people would be watching that, and then all of a sudden another event will start on another stage. It's like, what? Creators who attended this event don't attend Summer in the City. Now, Summer in the City is probably the UK's biggest YouTuber event. It happens in London every year, and the people who go the YouTubers who go to somewhere in the city don't get paid. They may get some of the travelling expenses paid, but they don't actually get paid. But they do get to charge money for signings, things like that. And there's lots of issues when it comes to things like this. I'm actually going to get more onto that in a bit. But the people that did this event are ones that don't get paid for going to somewhere in the city. Or VidCon, or a playlist. When VidCon, playlist, and somewhere in the city are perfect ways, very well structured events with high security for YouTubers to interact with the people that pay their bills. Some attendees say it was just an excuse to sell merch. Parents were mad about the lack of professionalism, planning, security, etc. Jason Perry has closed his Twitter after the backlash. Not everyone had a bad time. There have been people that did have a great time. There have been people that did enjoy themselves. There have been people that had a really good time and had really good experience. However, that isn't true for everybody. And unfortunately, an event like this is marred by the people who didn't enjoy themselves. And not everyone felt disappointed. Now, like I said at the beginning, I didn't go. But from what I've heard, I would be ashamed. I have a few questions. If you want to answer these, let me know down below what your answers are. Should the YouTubers take some of the responsibility? And the answer to that is yes. They pushed this so hard. And they made it sound like it was going to be this great thing where you'd be able to see them walking down the main street, and you'd be able to bait with Zoella, and that Zoella would have an area where you could go and chill, and that she'd be there. Yes, she was there, but she was surrounded by security. So why have the chill area? Why not just have a chill area for people with anxiety and not say that you're going to be there if you're going to be surrounded by security and security aren't letting anybody near? Also, like I said, some of them do have shares in the company. Some of them should have said, before they got involved, we need more clarification on what it's going to be. Is there going to be security? These are the questions I would have asked. Is there going to be security? What's the structure of the event? Who else is involved? Etc. What type of stalls are there going to be? What type of marquees are there going to be? Blah, blah, blah. That was never raised. Should they have planned it better? And the answer to that is hell yeah. Like I say, when you do an event like this, you go to an event company that is bread and butter is planning events like this. It's why Summer in the City playlist and VidCon are relatively successful, because everything is planned. You have meet and greets between these specific time windows. You have panels at this room at this time, and then you give them, say, 15-20 minutes to get to the next one, etc. And that's done for a reason. It's well structured, well organised. Everybody gets a plan of what's going on. Everybody gets a breakdown of what the events, what time they're happening, what time the talks are happening, what time you need to start queuing by, etc. That didn't happen here. It was an absolute mess. There's videos of people where they're looking at one stage and then another stage starts, so people start running. And then there's just like this big group around. There's hardly any seating around the stages. And there's one area which was a cinema where you could go and watch the YouTubers' videos. What? If that were me, I would have said, put a film on that's YouTube related, like the vlogumentary, or Roman Atwood's movie that he did, Natural Born Pranksters, or any other film any other YouTuber's done. Because you can always get in touch with him. You could have got in touch with David Saw and asked him. You could have got in touch with Heavenly Acres and asked her if you could show one of her films. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. You could have asked Julian, for God's sake. And they probably would have said yes. But nobody did that. Instead, you were just sat there watching videos that you'd probably already seen. Should it have involved smaller and bigger YouTubers? Yes. There was, like I say, Looking for Louie was there. He's probably what I would say middle YouTuber. He's got something like 200,000 subscribers. But there was a lot of smaller YouTubers here in Britain that were not involved. And there were a lot of bigger YouTubers in Britain, like PewDiePie, which is the biggest YouTuber. I don't think John Cooking was there. Now, he's not one of my favourite people, but you would think that if you're going to have a YouTube convention and you want a lot of people to go, somebody like John Cooking would be ideal. Or somebody like PewDiePie, because PewDiePie would have brought in some goddamn numbers. But he didn't. They didn't ask him. There's a lot of British YouTubers, and Blackery didn't get asked. Why? There's a lot of British YouTubers. And for it literally to be Alfie's core group, to me is ridiculous. With a handful of others. It's ridiculous. And it's enraging. An apology has been issued, but is it enough? No. I'm sorry, but it's not. Just, I'm sorry, we'll do better next year. What? Are you kidding me? We'll do better next year. Some people really need their heads looking into, and I mean really. And it's ridiculous when an event attended by some of the biggest YouTubers in Britain, but doesn't portray an accurate account of all the YouTubers in Britain. Daz Games wasn't there? And he's one of the biggest YouTubers we've got in this country. What? There was no American YouTubers there? So, what? Some YouTubers were more concerned about money than they were about their fans. And this is where I got on to a point that I'm not the only one who is of this opinion. And at the end of this, I will actually post a screenshot of a comment I did on KSI's video, because he did a video about, it was a clickbait video saying, getting hate at Hello World. First of all, the company Hello World is an Australian company. It's a completely different company. This company is called Hello World Live. Now, there is a handful of people, and a lot of the people are British YouTubers, smaller ones. By small I mean those under 100,000 subscribers. We are all of the opinion that the bigger YouTubers, people like Zoe, Alfie, Joe, Marcus, etc., are, well, money hungry. That they are more bothered about their bank balance and their bottom line than they are about the people that pay to go and see them, to go to these events and see them, that buy their merch, that watch their videos, that worship the ground that they walk on. And when you are paying money, whether it's £50 or £100, £50 is $65. So £100 would be about $130, right? So you're paying $65 or $135 or $130 to go to see a YouTuber and it be an absolute shambles. Nah. I'm sorry, but nah. Nah, that ain't happening. And I understand why people are pissed. I understand why parents are mad that they bought these tickets for their kids for their birthdays and they paid for the train fare to Birmingham, which if you're coming from the the north of the UK, that ain't cheap. And you're travelling to a city and you have to pay for parking, you have to pay for food, etc. Sometimes hotel rooms. And you pay for all that, but yet it is an absolute shambles, is beyond me. And for those YouTubers involved to say, I'm glad all these people had fun, blah 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 blah. Yeah, but not everybody did. There are major issues with the event, and to say that there isn't would be insanity. You know, some people. Yeah. A lot of bigger YouTubers do seem to be more bothered about the money rather than the fans. This isn't true for all YouTubers. A lot of YouTubers do go to VidCon, a lot of people do go to Playlist Live, a lot of people do go to Summer in the City and the playlist we have in Europe and things like that, which is great. And people do pay for YouTubers to come and visit and do talks and stuff. If I had the money, I'd do it, but I don't. And for people to think of their job as nothing but a way to push merch, and yeah, I understand trying to make money, I understand making it a business, I get that, I'm not an idiot. You know, I know that YouTubers who do YouTube as a full-time job can suffer from the apocalypse and such. But that doesn't mean that you have to host an event where you are essentially pushing your merch for a full weekend. When you're getting paid for the event and you do hardly any interaction with the people that are paying for you. But yeah, if I was invited to an event like this, I would ask for clarity of what the event was, what type of timetable there's going to be, who else is going to be there, what time the talks are, what time the meet and greets are, etc. So that I could tell my people, my fans, that same thing. Now, I'm not at that level, and if I ever do get to that level, I'm not going to be a dick about anything, because that's not who I am. And to say otherwise, for YouTubers, British YouTubers, it always makes me ashamed to say that I'm a British YouTuber, which is horrible. For British YouTubers to act like this, ugh. Anyway, I've got another video to do, so I'm going to need to calm down. Anyway, so that's this week's trash talking video. Like I said, not everybody had a bad time, but a lot of people did. When I edit this video, I'm going to jump onto Twitter and I'm going to bring up the Hello World hashtag on Twitter and show you the tweets. I did that with the last video and you guys seem to enjoy it, so anyway. So I'm going to go and do this other video, but stay safe, be good, have fun, and I will see you on Friday. Hello everyone, I just thought I'd come on and quickly just go through the hashtag Hello World Live on Twitter. Now, I'm gonna... Sorry, I've started with cold again. Now, I'll just increase the size for you. So, this is the Hello World Live, and I'll go into the Hello World as well. Although it's actually technically two different companies, but people do just put the Hello World as well as Hello World Live. So you've got two of the main people that did it, which is Zoella and Alfie, and we've got one here, the head of world. Excuse me. The head of Hello World Live deleted his Twitter. He may well have just written "I'm a scam artist" on his forehead. Would you guys want me to make a video explaining everything that happened to Hello World? Because it's low-key be fit and I want to spill some tea, which he did. Kirsty O'Hara, it's incredible how anxiety can turn on and off according to a paycheck. To Zoella, I don't let YouTubers victimizing themselves stop. Don't let YouTubers victimizing themselves stop you from making complaints for fear of being ungrateful or mean. Shout out to all the Gleam YouTubers at Hello World for showing your true narcissistic colours this weekend. Gleam is the MCN that all the YouTubers that were there are signed under. People who knew it wasn't a meet and greet, but that's not the point they're making. Listen to them rather than pretend everyone loved it. Alfie's condescending response is so predictable. It's not about whether or not it was a meet and greet event. It's immersive. Last time I checked, that means there will be interaction and things to do rather than stand around or buy merch. Are people really shocked that Hello World was a rip-off when Zoe's advent calendar is £50 and contains a nav notepad and some confetti? The best day ever. This is somebody who enjoyed themselves. I didn't queue for a single thing at Hello World and still saw everyone I wanted. If you all queued all day, then that was your choice. Well, no, they were told that there wouldn't be queues. So, why are people surprised that Hello World is shit? Have you not learned that Gleam creators are money-hungry twats? I'll actually look at Alfie's message in a second. So where was the diversity? Only white creators at Hello World, not a great example of inclusion setting for your viewers. Now I'm going to go on to Alfie. Today was so sick, I met over 400 of you. Now, if that's true, then there was 500 VIP tickets sold and 500 non-VIP tickets sold. So, only 40% you actually interacted with, even though you told them it would be an interactive event. Okay. Anyone else find it hysterical that a big events like this gets hyped up and end up being a massive pile of shite? Okay. Reasons Hello World Live was bad. Organisation sucked. Some of the staff were rude. Bored 85% of the time. Could have been more of an interaction with the stage or areas. Timing were wrong between emails and the newspaper. Merch sold out too quickly. Some of the YouTubers did nothing, and yet so much publicity and pay for this. If you weren't near the front for sure, the atmosphere was dry. Not one tweet from Hello World about the complaints. This is now Alfie laughing at all the money he earned. What happened to the signing and photo? If you arrive early to queue, you will be turned away. Please do not turn up until the time shown on your ticket. There can be a maximum of 2 additional items signed. There will be an opportunity to get a photo with a Hello World star. A member of Hello World staff will be on hand to take a picture for you using a phone/camera. Please ensure your phone and camera is fully charged and had enough storage space available. Not being funny, but people paid over £100 to see their faves and leave with a signature from Poppy Days. Someone who went to Hello World today can you DM me? Going tomorrow and don't know what to expect. I'm sorry, but the actual it's actually horrific to watch. Imagine you paid for the privilege. Alfie on Twitter, it wasn't a meet and greet. Alfie on the vlog, just a creator store. Just off the creator store meet and greet. Lie after lie, how can you justify? Did anyone get to hang out with Alfie for more than 10 seconds?
Here's an open letter to Hello World, including the creators who have stakes in the event. And although it was your talent lineup this weekend, I don't believe we've actually been introduced. Although I was in your talent lineup this weekend, I don't think we've actually been introduced. I'm Janet. I'm 23-year-old Saudi/British YouTuber. Having been on the platform for 7 years, I was the first Saudi British female YouTuber. I also have a master's degree in marketing and brand marketing with distinction. Oh, and I'm a global head of social strategy for the fourth most viewed media publisher in the world. Unfortunately, you wouldn't have known any of that, as I was spoken by your staff for a total of 3 minutes, who seemed to think that my dressing room was with the rest of the lineup. Their loss, I'm sure. They seemed to think my dressing room with the rest of the lineup. In fact, we weren't even staying in the same hotel. I was promised my talk would go smoothly. Spoiler alert, it didn't. I had to spend 30 minutes looking for the actual room, which attendees couldn't even find, leaving the cinema room bare and empty. The attendees were actually called to the main stage for the main show the moment I was meant to participate in my talk. It became starkly obvious that I was invited purely on the basis of I was one of exactly 2 non-white people on the actual guest list. But no effort was placed to actually utilise me in any event, in the event itself. Only my face in the proportional images to show diversity in the lineup. I don't feel that I even have to say how highly offensive that is. If I had known I was going to be attending an event where I would be seen as the brown person and not heard, I would not, for any fee, have sacrificed my self-respect and travel all the way to Birmingham to be completely ignored by all staff and all guests. Sadly, I hadn't shown up. Sadly, if I hadn't shown up, I doubt your team would have even noticed. Above all, what angers me most is the fact that if I measure my self-worth based on my experience at such events, with this one, I would have been dissatisfied. Luckily, I'm a YouTuber of 7 years, a master in marketing, and head of social company who achieves 4 billion views per month. Sorry you missed out on the value I could have contributed to your event. Best of luck to your future endeavours. Wow, Hello World was incredible. This is one of the people that was there. Thank you so much for all of those wonderful people who came out. Much love. To complain, email is this. Retweet, pass it on. And like I said, there are some people that enjoyed themselves, but there are a lot of people that didn't. And here, we've got the same thing. This is a nice little gift for you. I'll take selfie pics with like 10 fans and make it seem like you care. Death come to me. Nothing like exploiting kids for money. The only people sticking up for these are those that are under 13. I like that one. I'm so happy that Hello World has opened its eyes to so many. They are in it for the money, not to create, not for the love of the fans. Chanel versus One White, showing Summer in the City versus Hello World. I fought through the crowd to see them at Hello World bed for a pic, which he was sweet enough to pause for, but didn't get the pic. Gutted. 70s, well, is amazing at Hello World. She's battling anxiety, and if you ask me, she's really kicking its ass this weekend. Yeah. All positive reviews for Hello World are by people too blinded by their love of YouTube and parents who don't want to admit they wasted £100. So, yeah. It was a sham and it wasn't worth money, is basically what's come out of this. and it's horrid that people have had to go through this. Anyway, so I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna go and edit this video in a sec. So be good, stay safe, have fun, and I'll see you soon.